Welcome back, you rascals. Tobin and Leroy here with you.
Oh, yeah. My first Twitter beef.
Oh, man. This is your first Twitter beef? I think your first Twitter beef, I believe, was with Eli Apple.
But that don't count.
You had Twitter beef with the Bee Gees?
No. So Vlad. So somebody hit me up on Twitter because, I did the thing in Cleveland. And they asked a lot about Shedeur Sanders.
Mm-hmm.
And basically what I said is this. It's a coach's job to put the best players on the field.
Mm-hmm.
He has a responsibility not only to the organization, but to the other 52 men on that team.
Right.
Yeah. If you put somebody on the field and the players think that the other guy's better, then you have a chance of losing your team.
Sure.
Simple as that.
Mm-hmm.
Right? I said, so the fact that Shedeur is not playing, I would just assume, and I just made it the point that he's not ready. Because when the team's doing that bad, if you pull somebody to the side and one of the guys say he was in the locker room, they only say good things. I say, but if you pull him over to the side, and then that's when you get them unnamed sources, has anybody said Shedeur should be playing? He said no. I said, okay. It's okay. Right? It's okay. Just because the guy's not playing his rookie year does not mean he's going to be a garbage pro. Why can't anybody get over that?
And obviously the organization, they picked Dillon Gabriel first.
Right.
That there is going to be an element of they're going to trust their evaluation on that.
Now, there's been some situations where a guy just stood out.
Yeah, sure.
Mr. Unlimited.
Obviously something weird happened because of how much he fell. But
here's the thing. Did he fall? Because people were saying that, but nobody was really talking about Shedeur as far as teams. It was only the people, that were projecting.
I didn't hear one person say Dillon Gabriel was going to get
drafted
before Shedeur Sanders.
But I didn't hear one person, no organization saying that Shedeur was going to be a top 5 pick. Everybody was saying that about Cam.
People were saying that about Cam, and there was certainly talk that he was going to slip. But even the quarterbacks he went after, I don't think people did not anticipate that. And there also does appear to be something in the realm of hey, his draft process went really bad.
But again, all those reasons we don't know about. Well, I don't know about all that. I don't know about the conversation. Here's what I do know. And when we talked about this last year, and he said, who you think's better, Shedeur or Cam? I said, here's the problem. I've never seen Shedeur make on-time throws. Drop back, throw a guy to a spot, throw a guy open, put his foot down, zip it to the deep out or whatever. I've never seen that. I've seen Cam do it. So my preference would be Cam. In all fairness, though, I've seen more Cam than Shedeur, right? So then we get to the Browns draft him. Everybody has a fit on when he's getting drafted or whatever. He gets drafted in the 5th round, right? He gets an opportunity to play. And he makes some great throws, but it's all kind of scrambling around on the run, throwing guys, kind of like that.
Got an X factor to him. There's just something about watching Shedeur Sanders. He's got a little X factor to him.
But here's the problem.
Mm-hmm.
From a coaching standpoint, you can't base everything on that. You got to base it on knowledge of the offense, knowing where to go with the football, knowing how to manipulate the defense. You got to know what you're doing.
I get you.
And so if he never gets past that first part, he's not going to be able to show the second part. And the first part is what's holding him up. And that's what I said.
I think people just look at Dillon Gabriel, all respect. I mean, maybe he'll be really good. I don't know. But I do think people look at Dillon Gabriel and they're just he's kind of he's like
the team's terrible.
I understand
Who
terrible.
cares what the quarterback looks like? That's the least of your problems. You got so many other things going on.
It is, but this is the most juicy thing about the team. If you didn't want that situation, they shouldn't have drafted Shedeur Sanders.
Okay.
You know what I mean?
No, I don't.
Well,
I don't. That really has nothing. They're
does.
They didn't have no quarterback. So they drafted 2 quarterbacks because they have none. Right? And you want to know the perfect example of what's going on there?
Mm-hmm.
That the quarterback they got rid of and dumped has thrown for 1,000,000 yards with 2 good receivers.
He's good.
Right? So if Joe Flacco couldn't do it, what makes you think 2 rookies are going to do it?
Don't know.
Right. So, if Shedeur was the quarterback, there be Dylan Gabriel fans saying the same thing about Dylan Gabriel. It doesn't matter.
I don't think there are Dylan Gabriel fans other than the Gabriel family, respectfully. Nice man.
And Phil Knight?
Yeah, yes. And then
so it's like this is where we are with a team that's won 2 games. Like we're gonna argue about
here. You got people who want Quinn Ewers to start,
and that's where
we have. What do you mean? Are we there?
What
yeah,
a segue.
Of course. We have Quinn Ewers.
That's
people
fine.
want to see what Quinn Ewers has over Tua.
All right.
You know,
Great.
like
even though Tua's going to be here next year.
I don't know.
Leroy,
Yeah, he's gonna be.
all right, Leroy.
What?
Leroy, I need
Vlad,
you,
Vlad.
I need you
If we're gonna have this conversation,
I need you.
come with reality, not with your
need
feel
you.
good.
People have cut bait. People have cut bait.
People want to cut bait, but every team doesn't do that. You know that.
I know
We
every
all
team
know
doesn't do
that. So stop.
But this guy, first of all, this team has cut more checks for guys who don't play for their team than maybe
But
anybody
that's
else in the league.
not like that though.
If you already know that if the damage is done already.
No, I'm just listen. I understand what people want, but what normally do teams do?
Normally
teams don't cut bait.
I understand.
That's all I'm saying.
I understand, but what if we're in a situation where Tua's cooked? Like I'm asking a question, Leroy. I'm not saying I know what the situation of his contract, but people have signed bad contracts before. The Browns are doing this right now with Deshaun Watson. And he's probably not going to be on the roster next year. They're probably going to cut bait. And I think for the Dolphins, if they get to a point like if Tua continues to play this poorly, and he's been awful this year, and I don't know what the reasons are. Maybe the league figured him out. Maybe he's a little mentally frazzled. Maybe injuries are just starting to catch up with him because he's had a whole hell of a lot of head injuries, body injuries, and he's just not that guy anymore. And he already had a very small physical margin for error. You just you can't hold on to that for another year just cause. Like you do have to have a guy
$50 million.
But it's sunk anyway. The damage is done.
Now,
like that's coming from a guy that's not spending the money. And all I have is normally people don't just cut bait like that.
Didn't the Niners cut bait with Jimmy G when they got Brock Purdy?
No, but it wasn't this much money.
But they cut bait. That's not you're saying they don't cut bait.
Dude,
I get
I'm not, no.
The market.
I don't want to have this conversation. Because I'm speaking in reality.
Okay, well,
that you're not going to just throw away $50 million.
Let's talk about this reality. If he continues to be this bad,
you might replace.
He can't be your quarterback.
You might replace. No, you might replace him at the end of this year, and then you're going to reboot it next year.
Not with him.
Yeah,
you can't, Leroy.
Okay.
You're going to go.
You're telling me what you can't do.
You're going into a hopeless year. Then, if he continues to play this bad,
it's going to be hopeless anyway. You're not going to be able to do nothing next year with all the money you have out there.
So you just want to continue to throw him out there?
I mean, isn't that what
throwing ducks to the other team?
I mean, Atlanta's holding Kirk Cousins, and they paid him over $100 million.
Yeah. My whole point is not like if you find another quarterback and he replaces Tua, right? Fine. Okay. Tua's going to be on this team.
Okay, fine.
That's all I've been saying. You guys are talking about players and all. Tua's going to be on this team next year.
Okay, fine. He could be on the team. But
okay.
The question is that what the fans don't want is maybe him starting.
Okay. Find somebody better.
That's what it is.
You think you look, go look around.
And that's why they say maybe give viewers a chance to see.
Right.
Because this season's good.
Based on
little looky Lou last month.
Do you understand? Do you understand, right? That you know how you could lose a team quicker than any is put a guy on the field that's not the best guy for that job.
We've put a lot of guys on the field this year. No, hear me out. They put a lot of guys on the field this year that weren't ready and not in the best position.
Right, because you have no other options.
Yeah, but they've already done that this year.
No, but you're saying just do it with the quarterback.
At a certain point, I wouldn't mind them doing it if he continues to play like this. Right. If they continues to play like this, which is awful.
Right. Leroy, if they're 2-10, and they say they want to play Quinn Ewers, and then Ewers wins 4 of the next 5.
You think if anybody thought Quinn Ewers could win 4 out of the next 5, he wouldn't already be playing? Like you have to put the best player out there. I don't care. The money doesn't matter to me.
Well,
but my whole point is they're not just gonna dismiss Tua.
But we can't act like politics in these decisions because like what you're saying, the money spent and the relationship that he has with the head coach, like you can't act like that doesn't play a part in the patience or how many chances or leeway
when
you're
it comes
give
to
the guy
job.
either.
When it comes to keeping your job, really,
Well,
I've seen, and I know coaches that have benched their wife. Right? Like, no,
well,
it's about you have a job on this team.
There was an interesting thing where there was an interesting thing about, you know, the Dolphins being able to bench him. Like, I'm sure he's got the green light if he wants to. And then, but I bet you if I spent $50 million on a guy a year on a quarterback, and I'm the coach that kind of vouched for him.
Yes.
You're going to make sure that tries to work until you get clearance from your boss. Because like you said, he's the one who has to write the checks. Yeah. And so if you have a loud wrong mistake like that, you're going to try and make that work as much as possible.
Right. Well, the problem is that Tua wasn't Mike McDaniel's guy. He was already here.
He's this guy.
Okay.
He wasn't anybody's guy when he was here. He was just here. Remember, he's like, I don't not feel wanted. Mike McDaniel made him feel wanted. That's his guy.
Hey, the guy went up to ownership and said, you got to give him the bag.
Yeah.
Right? That's your guy.
Absolutely.
That's his guy.
That's your guy. Okay. Nobody's going to go up to owner and said, you got to pay him.
If if Quinn Ewers was even close, I think at some point they would give him a chance.
Yeah,
but the fact that they're not just going to throw him out there with the knowledge that they have of what he could or couldn't do right now. Like, for some reason, you think these guys see these players every day. They know, right? For you to say, let's just kick the tires on. They already know.
I understand. And look, he got already put back to third string. He had that one game where he was put up. So I'm not even saying that it's likely to happen soon, but is Zach Wilson taking him for a spin? Like if Tua continues to throw time bombs to the other team, like
absolutely,
you're gonna shake it up at some point.
But the fact that you put Quinn Ewers in before you put Zach Wilson in also says something else.
Look, that's another mistake in its own right. Being like, we had to go get Zach Wilson as our backup. I'm like, huh?
Hey, the past regime messed you guys up. Oh, at least the past GM.
So, like,
I'm not. You think he's having Mai Tais right now? What do you think he is? You think he's just so like? Do you think Chris Greer right now is in a hammock somewhere, so unburdened by all this?
Definitely in a hammock. He's just definitely in an island.
Thinking of it as like, don't have to scout any injured players that I could draft. You know, bring me more of those pigs in a blanket, please.
I would just say, like, listen. Contrary to popular belief, it's everybody's job to win games. And if Quinn Ewers was even close or showed something, we've seen it in football before now, where they feel good about the young guy and they put him in and he flashes and warrants you giving him more time. Quinn Ewers is not even there yet.
Doesn't appear that way.
Right. So to sit here and have this conversation about kicking the tires on Quinn Ewers when we already pretty much have an idea. You have an idea. He had that one throw.
He had that one throw in the garbage time.
There you go.
Where Savaya and I got him blown up.
That is
chucked it down the field, dude. You know what that is?
You understand?
You know what that is?
My frustration.
You know what that is?
What is it?
Moxie. Stand in the pocket. Down the field.